Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about AEW Revolution 2026 from yesterday. I do apologize. This event went way too long, almost till like 12:30 in the morning. If I had this as my full-time job and I was actually getting paid for this, you damn Skippy, I would have been reviewing this last night. But unfortunately, this is not my full-time job. I'm not getting paid to do this on YouTube. So here we are. AEW Revolution last night was fucking fun as hell. Great event. Well worth the pay-per-view buy. Everything. Every penny. I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to sit through. There was a couple of surprises earlier in the show. And the main event was barbaric as fuck. Let's just put it that way. I felt like I was watching a GCW pay-per-view event, which, by the way, I watched GCW 3 hours before the event started. I didn't get to catch the main event of GCW's So Much Fun. That show was alright. It wasn't bad. The main event looked very promising from that show. And this show's main event reminded me of watching a GCW show. I mean, this was just barbaric, sick. I mean, in the AEW World Title match, we had MJF and Hangman Page trying to sword fight each other with lighting tubes. I mean, that's just plain fucking sick and insane. What else happened on this show? Hangman Page ended up losing by passing out. Couldn't answer the count. Couldn't answer anything. He got counted out, and that was it. And he lost. But MJF took the brunt of the punishment in this matchup majority of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. MJF got his licks on Hangman Page as well. They were both bleeding. This was a brutal match. If you haven't seen this event, check it out just for the main event alone. It was a fun, entertaining show. And the main event, I'm giving a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Excellent matchup. Grueling work by both of these guys, and they put their bodies through fucking hell. The opener of the show was the tag team titles, with FTR defending the titles against the Young Bucks. This was very surprising. The Young Bucks end up losing this match in a very close nail-biter, and FTR walk away as the AEW Tag Team Champions still. And on top of that, FTR was then met by Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, which surprised the hell out of me. That was the first surprise of the night. FTR and Young Bucks put on a classic tag team match that went over 15 minutes, 18 minutes and 50 seconds to be exact. This was a fun opener to this show, and they retained the tag team titles, and Adam Copeland and Christian Cage kicked the shit out of FTR. So that was pretty nice to see. Young Bucks were having a stare down with Adam Copeland and Christian, which was interesting. That's probably a foreshadowing what's to come in the future. Timeless Tony Storm went up against Marina Shafir in a whatever matchup, you could say. This was a match with everyone banned from ringside, and Tony Storm ends up winning this match. Not surprising by any means. And then Ronda Rousey showed up out of fucking nowhere. So apparently now Ronda Rousey is part of the Death Riders, or at least from what we saw from last night. And I was surprised by that. So yeah, Ronda Rousey is back in pro wrestling in AEW. This should be interesting. This matchup, oh yeah, the tag team title match, that was a 4 out of 5 stars, easy without question. The Timeless Toni Storm Marina Shafir match, I'm going to give that a 3 stars. It was pretty average. Nothing really spectacular, though. If you really want to get crazy, we could say 2.5. Because it wasn't that great. And it was only 9 minutes and 50 seconds, really. Then we had Jon Moxley defending his AEW Continental Championship against Takeshita in a no time limit. A lot of people were thinking this match was going to go an hour long, possibly. This match only went 23 minutes and 25 seconds, so thank God for that. But Jon Moxley ends up retaining this title. And there was no outside interferences, nothing happened. Just strictly one-on-one, and nothing occurred from this. I was very, very surprised by this. So a lot of underdogs won this in this show, by the way. Young Bucks were a minus 200 on BetUS, and FTR were the underdogs in that match. Marina Shafir was an underdog, but she ends up losing. But Jon Moxley was a slight underdog, and Jon Moxley ended up winning this match. I was very shocked by that. I bet on Takeshita to win this title. I thought that they were going to build a story to Okada and Takeshita over the International and Continental title and unify those two belts once again. Unfortunately, that's not what occurred. Instead, Jon Moxley wins, and then we get a return of Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay was not happy. He was pissed. He came down to the ring, ran down the ring, and kicked some ass on the Death Riders. And Jon Moxley looked like he was proposing as a heel again. We can't tell whether or not he's a heel, babyface, or whatever. He's just all over the place. He's like a bipolar psychopath. I have no idea what the hell this guy is. But Jon Moxley retains his title. This match was a 4 out of 5 stars. Very entertaining work by both of these guys. Seeing them wrestle again, I don't know about that. Now that Takeshita couldn't even win the damn title in the first place, I don't see any reason why they should. I think Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay is the way to go. And I think him competing over the Continental Championship would be fine and dandy since Jon Moxley is the champion going into this rivalry, which is definitely going to happen. I'd hate to think that they go ahead and build this up and not have an actual direction with the championship being on the line to make the story a little bit more interesting. But yeah, he is still the Continental Champion in a very entertaining one-on-one match. Then we had the AEW Women's World Tag Team titles. Divine Dominion of Megan Bayne and Lena Cross going up against the Babes of Wrath, and the Babes of Wrath end up losing these tag team titles. This was another one that was where the underdogs actually won this match. This was a very surprising turn of events, but yes, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross end up winning the women's tag team titles. Earlier in the night, Lena Cross faced Willow Nightingale, and she ended up losing that match over the TBS Women's Championship. So, double duty, I'm not really keen on the idea of doing double duty work. I think that's kind of shitty to do. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Match itself, 2 out of 5 stars. This was not a great match. It was very short, too, so whatever. Swerve Strickland going up against Brody King in a almost 15-minute match. between the two of these guys. This was a fun fucking matchup. Nice grudge match between the two of these guys. 4 out of 5 stars once again. This was good. Swerve Strickland wins, proving he is the most dangerous man in all of AEW. Love that fucking match. It was a great match. Great work by both of those guys. Next, we had Tekla defending her women's championship against Chris Statlander, where she retained her championship. This was very surprising as well. Well, not really. I'm glad they kept the title on Tekla. I hope Tekla continues to build this momentum. And I wish they would have done the right thing by her by saving this for, like, Revolution for her to win the championship. But it is what it is. Tekla did have a good performance here. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was fairly good. So, yeah, it was a decent match, but nothing really stuck out at me, but it was a good match. The Trios Tag Team titles were on the line. Again, the Don Callis family, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis went up against Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey with Mystico. And they end up winning the Trios Tag Team titles after Jet Speed already just lost the tag team titles to Don Callis family with Hangman Page. So all this was a swap of championships. The only reason why the titles were swapped to the Don Callis family was because the Hangman Page was in the middle of a world title opportunity, so they probably didn't want to tie the Trios tag team titles up with him. Not that it would make any sense anyway, honestly. He didn't win the world championship, making things a little bit worse, so I guess maybe that would make him turn heel. I have no fucking clue. But yeah, this match, it is what it is. I mean, it was fun, but if you were to go back and watch this event, this is a match you would skip. It's not that big of a deal. 3 out of 5 stars, I'll give it. It was fair, but not something that's you would want to go back and rewatch. Now, Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito. Andrade El Idolo defeating Bandito. Great match. Awesome work. Andrade is doing the best work he has done in his entire career. This is a great run the second time around in AEW. I think Tony Khan is doing the right thing with him. He's booking him in good situations where he can win. I can imagine him eventually winning the AEW World Championship at some point down the line. And I would book him to win the AEW World Championship somewhere along the line, like late this year or early next year. Definitely. He's been doing great work. They got to just continue to keep building this momentum for him, and he's in great shape. 4 out of 5 stars easily. Both of these guys gelled very well together. Great work by both of these guys. I was highly entertained by this matchup. Another good grudge match that turned out to be really good. Tornado Trios tag team match with Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong against the Dogs of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors. This match was... Darby Allin's team won, obviously. This is a pay-per-view event. Darby Allin generally wins on the pay-per-view events. He loses during the weeks leading towards it. This was fun, but, I mean, if you go back and watch this event again, this is not something you need to watch. It was okay. I mean, 3 out of 5 stars, average match. It was fun, but it wasn't like, oh God, I gotta go back and watch it again. I mean, unless you really like you want to watch a Darby Allin match on the card or watch David Finlay perform. If you like any of those wrestlers that are in this matchup, yeah, maybe you might go back and watch it. But for me, it's just to save some time if I was to go back and watch this event again. This event was definitely a watchable, a rewatchable show. This was not shit. And then we already discussed this main event with MJF and Hangman Page. MJF retaining his AEW World title. And Page is now no longer able to challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again. So I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of this corner. Unless Hangman Page is planning on retiring. Or Tony Khan decides to change the ruling on that. But they didn't change the ruling on Cody Rhodes. I don't know why they would change the rules on or on Hangman Page. Really don't understand that. But it is what it is. I already gave you my rating on that match. It was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. But it was a fun show. Very entertaining stuff. And definitely something you can go back and watch and be happy that you paid to go watch it. So that's my thoughts, guys. I don't know what you guys think. But please, by all means, leave a comment down below on what you thought of the event. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will speak to you again tomorrow about Monday Night Raw. I'm actually a little backed up here on stuff. So I'm just going to cover Raw on Tuesday night instead of tonight. Because I didn't get a lot of sleep. I actually was wide awake throughout most of the night, so I'm probably going to want to get some sleep or whatnot, or I'm just going to be very fatigued. I'm not going to feel like talking about boring-ass Raw for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Again, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.